Hi, in this video I'd like to talk about the emphasis of your first miscarriage. I'd like to bring awareness to this topic. So if you have experienced your first miscarriage, or if you're also an expecting couple, if you'd just like to find out some very important information regarding your first pregnancy journey, please pay close attention to this video. Now, I'd like to talk about why your first miscarriage is so important to get properly diagnosed and properly treated. Your first miscarriage, if it does unfortunately happen, it does not happen randomly. This is something that I can guarantee and assure you. As contrary to what your doctor or your OBGYN might say, a lot of them say that this stuff happens, it's just some bad luck. You should just try again for the next time. This is probably one of the worst advice that someone in your situation can receive, because if you do follow his advice, your next pregnancy not only will also end in another miscarriage, you will only further complicate the underlying causes. But if you do take that advice of this video, which is to find a proper specialist hospital, someone like Antai Hospital that specializes in recurrent miscarriage and miscarriage prevention treatment, take your first miscarriage as seriously as possible. Diagnose what is the problem, because the first reason is that your first miscarriage is probably one of the most simplest in its nature compared to those in their second, third miscarriages, where there are multiple causes now. And here at Antai Hospital, we've diagnosed that there's over 44 to 45 individual causes that can lead to miscarriages. And the more times you ignore treatment and just go for your next pregnancy, the more causes that might involve, further complicating it. And the more complicated it is, the more underlying causes it is, the more difficult it is to diagnose. And this will only delay time, waste your money, and cause more problems. So which is why first miscarriage, solve the problem, and we can guarantee you that you will not waste any more money. You don't have to delay your fertile periods, because those times are only limited, and you can have smooth pregnancies subsequently. So first miscarriages, why do we call it simple? It's because usually there's only 3 underlying causes in our experience. In our years of experience, there's only rarely do we see any other than these 3. The first cause is uterine factors. These are all diagnosable and treatable. Could be a potential adenomyosis, endometriosis, uterine fibroids, something wrong with the uterus. So we call these uterine factors. Second cause is ovarian factors. Ovarian factors such as is there a possible massive ovarian cyst that is affecting the pregnancy? That's why it ended in miscarriage. Is it PCOS? Is it corpus luteum insufficiency? All of these are diagnosed problems, easily diagnosed problems, and easily treatable conditions, especially in your first miscarriage, because usually it only has one individual cause. It's not complicated, it's not complex, and it's either uterine factors, ovarian factors, or the third factor, which is chromosomal abnormality. Now, chromosomal abnormality is much more trickier. Let's say if it is chromosomal abnormality, if it is a lethal abnormality, then there's not much to do, because it is a lethal genetic variation that causes the pregnancy to terminate itself, because if there's probably a polyploidy or some genetic condition that is causing genetic instability. For this type, we don't really have any treatment, but it is considered a rare cause. It rarely happens. Another common one, a genetic abnormality, is a balanced translocation. This type of chromosomal abnormality, if you're diagnosed, this means you're fine, which means there's no loss of a genetic material, there is no dangerous genetic mutation that is happening. Simply the positions are swapped. That's why we call it translocated chromosomal abnormality. If you have this type of chromosomal abnormality, then you can be assured that you can continue to have pregnancies without any complications. So to conclude this video is that you need to take your first miscarriage as serious as possible, and it can only be these 3 possible causes. Something wrong with the uterus, something wrong with the ovaries, something wrong with the chromosomes of the baby. If you do delay treatment, or you do take advice of the other doctors who say just go for your next one, don't worry, it'll be successful, this will only add on to the 3 individual causes. You might have one cause, it will become 2, 5, 10, and it will lead to constant recurrent pregnancy losses until you miss your fertile periods, and may even develop into infertility. Maybe then you need to go for adoptions or surrogacy. So I hope you've learned something. Do share this video to those people who are in need, and also do visit our website and leave me a comment down below as well.